Somebody else one time come through the speaker. It's not good. Did you hear that? Easier from that, but not. It's no, and then you gotta keep calling me. Let's step through.
And it's 7 p.m. everybody, so we can get started. Thank you for being here. Today is November 13th. This is the village board meeting for the village of Willow Springs. And this meeting is called. Madam Clerk Charles, can we please call the roll?
Trustee Ara,
Here.
Kennedy,
Here.
Micah,
Here.
Hash,
Here.
Sprinkle,
Here.
Carr,
Here.
President Nettmeyer.
Here, that completes the roll. Let's please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you again, everybody. Before we get started into the business of the meeting, I'd like to ask for a motion to allow trustee Carr to participate in tonight's meeting by phone. May I have that motion?
Second.
We have the motion by trustee Posh and the second by trustee Kennedy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Oppose? Okay, motion carries and trustee Carr is participating by phone tonight. Thank you. First up then on our agenda, we have number 3, that's presentations. And tonight we have with us representatives from Connor and Gallagher. They're going to present on health insurance and property insurance renewals for the 2026 year. Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank
you. First, we have Bob Blahnik, and you're going to present with us about property insurance.
Madam President, staff, we appreciate Bob Blahnik, partner with Connor and Gallagher Insurance Services. With me here is also Todd, who's also partner with Connor and Gallagher, talking about benefits. This portion is just the property casualty portion, speaking about so the liabilities, that type of exposure. Let me first give you a little bit of background what's going on in the insurance marketplace. Many of you, as I spoke about last year, probably saw something similar again. Whether it's your auto insurance, your auto insurance on your properties, everything is up. Oftentimes, then when we add in the municipalities, it's up with double digits across the board. The positive is, though, it appears to be slow. You know, there's more capacity, more insurance carriers coming into the marketplace, so it's starting those increases. We're starting to see them slow. I'm going to guess for next year, it's kind of flatten, maybe a couple percent increases. Again, we don't have catastrophes and such. One of the areas that continues to be difficult for municipalities, those law enforcement, it's difficult. It can be those unget claims that come in can be catastrophic, and that's what leads to some of the J cases. But overall, even with that said, fortunately, we received much better results than most municipalities. Why? The losses we've incurred this year have been minimal. That's to nothing. Frankly, it's in fish cancer. Our losses have been excellent overall. I think we had one type of claim that occurred, but that was it. Overall, I think partly is this also due to continued loss prevention initiatives that have been undertaken, partly with the help of the insurance carrier that we're currently using, whether it's public safety, public works. They're also utilizing best practices, doing just that as well. I know it's a little bit more conscious of what's happening. The more we keep the losses down, our premiums come in year after year. So with that said, I think everyone has a copy of the proposal for this year. This is summary of that. Let's see what we have.
Yeah, I had one that an answer for it. It is related to the Connecticut auto. And you had the listing of all the vehicles that we had in the village. I was looking into the dump for vehicles 28 to 33. That's at 1,000. All the rest of them there are 25 for the comprehensive portion. I just didn't know how that happened, or is that just a misprint, or there's something like that. Look at page 17 and 20.
It looks like it goes from 2,500 down to 1,000 on those three word here for the. Looks like 25. I don't know the reason why the differences, I can find them.
Yeah, I guess I was just wondering, always trying to lower the premium, being consistent with the approach. I didn't know that it would have a great effect on the premium overall. Because when you look at it,
It's a good question. If we don't know the answer to it, we'll get the answer. If it came brought back up to 2,500, I don't know if for some reason that that is unusual. Usually we may have standard 2,500 across the board, 1,000 across the board. I'll find out.
yeah. And then, based on what you're saying, so this. That 14% increase in our premium was considered in the industry. Not high at all, that is what you said.
Yeah, and there's a couple other reasons for the increase. So too, there probably, if you take a look at raw dollars, it's a 14% increase. There are 2 additional vehicles that were added to the property policy. And you see, if you look at, if you compare the auto premiums as a whole, you're going to see that that's a large jump right there. The auto affects the umbrella coverage. So as we have more autos, our umbrella coverage is also increase. This is exposure by its liabilities. So those also came then up. So both of those out alone, we're down to an 80% increase. Then on top of that, when you look at the workers' compensation, our payrolls are up because our head counts are up as well. That is a pure rate increase, that exposure, which really is flat on the workers' compensation portion. The increase goes down to close to 5%.
Yeah, I was looking at the increases, there's general liability, and like you mentioned, excessive.
Correct.
Liability, those are the ones that really jumped up.
Exactly. So people feel those odds really. Increases this year. Once we had losses. It's understandable. I guess it's unexplainable. We have a municipality that isn't as safe. We're gonna do this good job. They think. Unfortunately.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. I certainly appreciate it. You should know how time. Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you. It's Bob Edwards, I'm also a partner and your Bennett's representative. We illustrated on the pattern, overview on the benefits, I guess a lot of the color, similar to what I'll express, this has been it's been an extraordinarily, steep year for increases with regards to, Blue Cross specific has been releasing renewals. I would say, the lower end has been the low teens. We've seen 20s, 30s, 40s, as high as 50, which imagine is not 10. That is not a position in the village of San what we initially received with regard to the health plan itself was a 14.4% increase. Again, given the client that was actually on the lower end, it's never been an increase in about 75 a year. However, we brought an alternate plan design to the table that brought the increase almost 0.1% for an increase of $518. So that we felt was quite favorable. It maintains the network access that the participants, the families have been accustomed to, and really mitigates that 14%. With regard to the ancillary coverage, we had rate passes across the line, with the exception of dental. The dental, we got 1.2% increase, $242 a year. The vision for life, the short-term and disability policy rate pass. And we actually have rate guarantees for everything with the exception of the dental. And until 20. So that's quite good. We went to market on the ancillary just to do the belt check. And we basically came up with one option with, we had a lot of ETQs, and the ETQs simply mean that the carriers could not be. So they just stand out. We had one carrier that provided a kind of also the dental and vision, modest decreases, but the reality is that they complain full on the life, AGP, STD, and LTD, and it really is not, it's not in your best interest to have separate, from the ancillary. So it really was a pretty straightforward decision on this. Any questions at all or anything else that we could add?
I really was impressed by the fact that the alternate church had provided and looked at some of the code base and it's just. They're all very reasonable, in some cases that. Compared to.
Yes, it is extremely rare to have deductibles of $350 this day and age. And as I stand before a lot of employers, they're looking at deductibles for an individual, maybe, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. So that's becoming very challenging. So, yeah. Yeah, please.
Any other questions from the board? Well, thank you, and we will further down the action items, consider these renewals. Thank you both for your work on this and for the presentations, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're gonna move into number 4, disposition of previous minutes. We have October 16th minutes in our board pack. May I have a motion to approve this?
We'll move.
By trustee Kennedy, second. By trustee Sprinkle. Discussion or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
All right.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Sprinkle, Carr.
All eyes, minutes are. We'll move to the administrator report, administrator Grace.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things this evening. I will try to keep it brief. Last meeting, we had a resident come to us that was concerned about chickens in the community of Willow Springs and how we regulate them, things like that. So Attorney Peck and I have an exhibit for you guys that can you hand this down to everybody? If you wouldn't mind, there's one for you as well. What you've got here is something to consider, and so that everybody knows, I had this delivered to Trustee Carr's home a little bit ago, so he has it as well this evening. Some potential regulations we can put into our code to kind of oversee, I guess, chickens in residential neighborhoods a little better than we currently have available to us. So if you guys could take a look at it, see what you think. I think that this is actually a lot of it's very common sense. There's things in there that talk about how, there's a maximum of 6 is on here. There is no roosters allowed. There are, no free range would be allowed. They'd have to be in some type of a pen. So things like that were brought to us as a current concern without over regulating it so that residents that want to have them can't have them. So you guys can take a look at this, provide feedback to either myself or the mayor. And if it's something we want to proceed with, we can look at it at future meetings and adopting this into our code. So that's the first item. The next item I have for everybody is very fun. It is the yearly budget. Here's one for you as well. If you can hand these to trustees as well. Okay, so what we have here is a couple of documents for you guys to take a look at. The budget is on public display here at the Village Hall. That was posted in the newspaper prior to today's meeting, that it's on display and it is available for residents. What you have is the display budget and appropriation in its current state, which is a balanced budget. And then you also have some worksheets there, which show you guys the 23 final spent numbers, the 24 as unaudited, which we believe are extremely close numbers. Then you have the 25 budget as well as the proposed 26 budget. So it kind of gives you a show of some progression that we've had on different accounts. There is nothing too crazy in this year's budget, but I've also got my highlight sheets, just to kind of give you guys a rundown. First and most important is that as it's sitting here and proposed, there is no tax levy increase on the residents once again this year. So we are able to balance our budget, maintain operations, all without increasing taxes. So that's one thing to be very proud of. We are continuing our commitment to save for future capital reserves for both the police department and public works, as well as administration. If you guys remember last year, we passed all kinds of things as far as funding policies and things like that. So this falls into that commitment to make sure that we're planning for the future. We have budgeted for a increased police pension payment. This is an amount that is above what the police pension has sent to the village every year. They held their meetings. They do their review of what would be owed. They have an actuary review it, and then they send it over to the village for us to levy the taxes on their behalf. As I know, a commitment here of this board is to be fully funded in our police pension before the state mandate of 2040. This falls in line with that initiative and will allow us to continue to make payments in excess of minimums so that we get caught up there. There's a couple of different things in here. It has funding for some new benches at both parks. We want to, if you guys, we've done an awful lot of the parks over the last few years. One of the things we did not was quality commercial benches. So kind of replacing the old outdated stuff there. We have funding for our portion of the fitness center, which is something that we've talked about a few times here at the board level. That we're working on grants, things like that to fund most of that cost. But this budget does include our portion of that. For public works, couple of things that we're looking at doing for them next year would be a new utility vehicle. This is a replacement of their current one. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's they currently have, it's a two-seater. I think it's a John Deere. It's a black utility vehicle that is just aging out. It's starting to have some maintenance issues and concerns. So we're looking at replacing that. If we can locate a bucket truck that fits our needs, we're not looking at purchasing new, but we are considering used for that. And then some existing equipment needs some attachments and things like that to help us with different projects throughout the year. So that's what's in their funding for capital. Police department, we're looking at replacing their aging out utility vehicle as well as replacing 2 fleet vehicles so that we continue with the commitment of upgrading that fleet and making it uniform. So that's what's there. In the capital, for the administration department, we are including the funding for road paving and sidewalks. I think we've talked about that a little bit a few months ago. We actually allocated some of the Illinois funds, I believe it was, for paving for next year. So those areas are in here. So we're looking at paving a couple of different sections in town, as well as adding sidewalk. One of the areas for that would be by Willow Springs Elementary School. And another area would be on the west end, German Church and Willow Springs Road, connecting that area so that we can bring the west end around and get the kids to and from school safely on the other side. So all of that funding is in there. Like I mentioned, overall, we are budgeted balanced actually to a surplus. And that is all without raising taxes and ensuring that we're still saving funds for future infrastructure projects year after year, which has been the commitment. So if everybody could take a look at this, if you have questions, I'm happy to meet with anybody individually, myself and President Nettermeyer as well. We would be looking for any changes. If there's changes, we'll obviously highlight what those are. But the process at this point would be to review it. It remains on public display for any resident that would want to come in and see me and go over it with me. I'm happy to do that as well. And then it is up for a public hearing and board consideration in the month of December. So just take some time, please look it over and let me know if you have any questions. And that is all I have, man. Just that.
Thank you, Administrator. As you heard, the budget accomplishes a lot, so thank you for the overview of it. It accomplishes a lot with healthy reserves and surplus and including taxes flat to residents. So while budgets aren't very excited, I'm really excited about this one and we'll consider it next month. So thank you for your work on it, everyone, and look forward to your questions. If you have them, please bring them to us and we'll revisit this again. Okay, we'll move to village clerk.
I have no report this evening.
Officials, village in here. Okay, village clerk.
There is no report this evening.
You, village treasurer.
Just bring up so you didn't see the Tribune last Saturday. The property tax bills were supposed to be mailed out tomorrow. Normally when that happens, you see it a couple days earlier. The last time I looked at 5:30, it wasn't there, so, the due date will be on December 15th, meaning that we're only getting our money instead of August 15th, we're gonna get it on maybe December 31st, so. But I think that, and we've been very fortunate because of our reserves and that we did that first, borrow money or no thing to, deal with the spending out of that, so. And then just in general, keep watching our sales tax, have been really staying substantially reasonably higher, so. And that's unusual because a lot of my other clients are having decreases right now, so. So that's, things are still going well, I think, so that's it.
Thank you, Dan. We'll move to reports of Dan and Deputy Finance and Administration Committee, trustee Aros.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to approve item 881 warrant number 25-0-11 dated November 13, 2025, payroll and fund expenses totaling $561,078.39.
That's the motion. Thank you for that, trustee Aros. There's second
I'll second.
by trustee Micah. Thank you. Discussion or questions?
Just the comments on this warrant, nearly half of it was a payroll for 2 pay periods. We had the usual suspects in here, which was insurance, engineering costs, garbage disposal, a couple of things that came up with our police department capital, lighting to bring vehicles, basically. We also had our annual fee for the street cams for the village. And that totaled about 35% also. So that's just kind of a high level summary.
Any other discussion on the warrants? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Hash,
Aye.
Sprinkle,
Aye.
Carr.
All ayes. Motion passes.
I just wanted to make a comment, and I don't know who else will possibly chime in on this later on, but the Veterans Memorial dedication that we had to pass on Saturday. I was pleased to be part of that, and I think the people that attended, the veterans and the families, really appreciated it. There were a lot of people involved. This was not something that just happened overnight. It was something they planned for. We were able to tie it in with the street project that we did this year, but it was a little bit of a development that kind of grew out of village administration, beautification, as well as the Veterans Commission. So there were a lot of people involved, and we always get the help from Troop 69 at the flag ceremony, which we appreciate. Public Works, who helps us out with setting everything up, but also changing the bricks out as we get more applications. To tell you the truth, we have 15 bricks right now, and I have applications that I can pick up, and we'll have a list of over 30. And I know more are coming in, so that is really pleasing. It's a tribute to the veterans and the ones from Willow Springs specific. So thank you for that, for everybody that was involved. And that completes my report.
Thank you, trustee Ara. Just after that, it was a great event, very meaningful, and a lot of success, and thanks to everyone that's involved. And look forward to having that memorial there and seeing more bricks be added. Enjoying this. Okay, if that completes finance and administration, we'll move to public safety committee. Trustee Kennedy.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no comment for police unless she's got
No report.
And then I'd just like to add on, thanks everybody for their participation and making that a successful Saturday for us. Everybody was very happy. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Kennedy. Municipal buildings and grounds, trustee Micah.
Thank you, Madam President. I have no report.
Well, not a report, but on your way in, you probably saw the lights getting ready for the holidays. Just thank Public Works, it took a lot of time for that. You're not even close to being done, and I believe next week will be putting the big village tree up. And they, when the program started for the business trees.
Over.
Okay,
Go up tomorrow.
over. Okay, and that's all I have in this piece of.
No,
Thank you. To license and franchise. Let's see.
Thank you again for the one application for some questions. I know all, okay, it's the man, our jury in the Wilson. What it would be, a luminary selling collectibles, buying, sell, trading cars, and hours of operation is Monday through Thursday, 2 to 5, to 7 to 5, and Thursday, Friday through Sunday, 1 to 8, Saturday through Sunday, 1 to 8. Insurance and leases are in order. However, I did notice that they did put a check mark for a sign thoroughly. And I did check with the owner of this one earlier and said they will be submitting a application for a sign permit. So I will approve this application based on it. On sign permit.
Okay, thank you for the report, Trustee Sprinkle, and the recommendation, and we will be considering that for compliance further on down in action items. See that we have a representative of the business here tonight. So we will get to that shortly. Right now, we will move to Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Park.
Thank you. For the month of October, we tied for the most permanency in the month. Next. Total cost $1,170,400. Total cost $28,252. For the 10 months of 2025, we've written 255 permits. Total construction value of $7,808,961. For permit fees to the village of $212,781 even. And that is all I have for this evening.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Park. It's been a busy month in October. With that completes the committee reports, so we will move into action items now. First up, we have action to approve trying to have our self-insurance renewal policy with the calendar year 2026. May I have that motion? By Trustee R, by Trustee Sprinkle. I know we did have a discussion, but discussion or questions on the health insurance at this point?
Do we need to mention that we're gonna approve option 1? Because it is offered up in the packet, it was discussed. And I just assumed that we're approving option 1.
Yes, so you want to clarify and point out that in our renewal, we would be approving the alternate.
Yes. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes,
Because we back at this.
thank you for that clarification. Yes. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, let's do a roll call, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Hash,
Aye.
Sprinkle,
Aye.
Carr.
Aye.
Thank you. The next action item is action to approve Congress and gather property insurance renewal policy for the calendar year. So this is the property. May I have that motion?
Second.
Motion by Trustee Tosh, second by Trustee R. Discussion or questions on this one? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Sprinkle,
Aye.
Carr.
Aye.
All ayes, and that's approved. Number 3 for our action items is action to approve resolution 2025-R-16. This is the resolution for our meeting dates for next year. It's for the village board and subsidiary boards and commissions. It's in our board pack for review. May I have a motion to approve that?
Motion.
By trustee Sprinkle, second by trustee Meyer. Thank you. Discussion or questions on this one?
I think 2025, we went to one meeting a month, and I think it's worked out real well, so I'm happy to see that that's what we're doing. 26 for the board.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Sprinkle,
Aye.
Carr.
All right. Thank you. That is number 4, action to approve the business license for Final Wall located at 3695 Arthur, Unit 15. We have that application. We've heard from our community chair on his recommendation. We have a representative from the business. Hi. Would you mind stepping forward, please?
Sure.
Introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about your plan.
My name is Islam. And I'm planning to open a shop in Saturday, since 95. I've been collecting for 3 years. Collectibles have also has on memorabilia. And I was hoping to open a store there. And I submitted my business application, and he recommended me to do the permit for the sign as well. Quick question of, do I do that over here as well? Could I do that with you guys as well, the same process?
That's correct. So it'll be a separate action of the village board since we didn't have that with your application.
Oh,
So, we'll consider that separately and at a future meeting.
okay. So yeah, I was planning on hopefully opening a shop. I do have a part-time job in the morning, so it will be later in the week as well. I'll be able to set up hopefully 6 to 7 days a week. And it's buying something for the collectibles. Any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a question, and just maybe a misstep in the application process.
Yeah,
I noticed the date on the application was October 20th, and then it said tentative business open date said October 4th. So you're not open yet.
no.
Okay, so that was just a,
Yeah.
Okay, typo.
Okay,
thank you.
no problem. Thank you.
Questions from the board? Okay,
All right, you got it.
thank you very much. May I have a motion to approve the business license? We have the motion by trustee Posh, second by trustee Sprinkle. Discussion or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ara,
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Posh,
Aye.
Sprinkle, Carr.
Aye.
Thank you for choosing the love and good luck to you.
Welcome.
Okay, that completes our action items. So now we will look for any old business that the board wishes to entertain. Any old business? Any new business? Public comment?
Yes. Carol Valdez.
You know where the name this week from is? All in the area, like that triangle right there, all the things are going on there, and all of them side just. And if they're like, or something, you know.
I believe it's just to clean up the area and help with traffic sight, so there's less accidents, but there's no, nothing that we're aware of for road construction or widening it out. Yeah, it's somewhat of a dangerous intersection, so I think they're just cleaning it up for safety.
To. So was it extended?
It was not extended. So as an update on where we're at in that process, there was a joint review board meeting. And that was attended by the taxing bodies and they gave their recommendation. That meeting took place, it was unanimously decided by the taxing bodies to approve the recommendation for the amendments that are being considered. And so as the next step, we do have a public hearing scheduled for December 4th. December. At 7 p.m. here at the Village Hall, and that's a public hearing.
And that's when you'll talk about if you are going to install there.
That will be a hearing, to hear when, the feedback, yes, and then, immediately following that, there will be the village board meeting to,
It'd be a couple of weeks.
At our-
a special meeting towards the end of the.
okay. So the meeting that would, it would be decided, is it going to be our December board meeting?
It would, yes, this is the week period.
Okay, so potentially after board meeting, we can kind of talk about.
Right, right. Recommended next steps would be discussed at the December 4th meeting, and if it's recommended to proceed, the meeting date would be announced then, but it would be potentially then considered at the end-ish of December, later in the month.
No, it was. So there's no results. Correct. It's out of country, sir.
Four.
So like.
No,
There's,
two on the first floor, two on the second floor.
correct.
And underground parking.
We can talk about the.
In my form extension. Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, no need for executive session. President's report, I will cover Winterfest, yes, Carol. Would like everybody to know as a reminder that on November 22nd, there's Winterfest. It's our biggest holiday village event of the year. That is, as I said, November 22nd, the Saturday until Thanksgiving, from 3 to 4. That hour is open to those folks with special needs, and then from 4 to 7, that's open to all. Pictures with Santa, gifts for children, magic show, balloon, sculptures for the kids, balloon art. Looking forward to that. At the end, there will be our tree lighting at 7:30 here at the Village Hall, and fireworks to be a finale for that. So that is Winterfest. Please join if you can. And then my report, I did want to make mention of the public hearing that's on December 4th, so we did cover that. As a reminder, and our next meeting is December 18th, by our next village board. So outside of that.
Did you say that was gonna be at school?
Yes, the Winterfest is at Little Spring School this year. And thank you for correcting the administrative race. Our next village board meeting is December 11th, not December 18th, potentially that would be a meeting on December. Next village board meeting is December 11th. Yes.
You started when we.
No, not trying to, not at all. All right, everybody, happy Thanksgiving to you, and that concludes our meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
By trustee Kennedy, second by trustee Posh, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting is adjourned at 7:38.